your seats, you will have a sing-along booklet. So please feel free to sing along with us this morning. Follow along. Joy to the world. Joy to the world. The Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let all the songs employ, while fields and floods, rock hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy. Oh, joy, unspeakable joy, an overflowing well. No tongue can tell. No tongue can tell. Sing joy, unspeakable joy. It rises in my soul. Never lets me go. He rules the world. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love. Wonders of his love. Wonders of his love. Wonders of his love. Wonders, wonders of his love. Oh, we sing joy, unspeakable joy, an overflowing well. No tongue can tell. Joy, unspeakable joy. It rises in my soul, never lets me go.
Jason Goldstein and Donald James Harper, everyone. So happy to have them here, and they just fulfilled exactly what I had hoped for when I booked them together for today for our holiday service. So a round of applause to each of you. They came together this morning and put this together. So fantastic, fantastic. And I'm sure we haven't talked about this, but I'm sure each of them, I know it's hard to see around the poinsettia, right? But they probably, I know both of you worked like all Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like you've been probably worked up until the wee hours this morning. So happy to have them here. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to our holiday service. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and it's such an honor and a privilege to have you here in the building with us, as well as those that are watching online, as we come together for our monthly time together, our in-person celebration. But in addition to that, to honor the light of the season and that which is representative in the holiday season. And so I'm glad you're here. You'll see you have handouts for the day that not only has the order of service, but it also has for you lyrics to the songs we're going to sing, the Christmas carols, if you will, that we're going to sing together. So are you ready to lift up your voices and have it be heard today? Good. Well, I'm happy to hear that. And for those of you online, you'll know most of these songs, so you can sing in the privacy of wherever you may be and with whomever you may be with as you're singing along, whether it's your four-legged spiritual offspring or a beloved, period. I'm going to leave it at that. And a beloved, period. So we come together every Sunday morning to remember who we are as divine beings and to focus primarily on the philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind. As a community, we've come together now for getting close to 40 years. And we come together to remember who we are as practitioners, and I'm not talking about licensed, I'm talking about those who are consciously aware of the mind that we're each imbued with, and to practice using our mind in a way that propagates and reveals more of who we are as divine beings. In our philosophy, faith, and way of life, our belief is that we are imbued with the following, but not limited to, qualities of the divine, which include peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. I love that for our teaching, that we believe that we have those, and having spent a lot of time in our home here, which is the primary home of Congregation Kol of Me, the way that this Reformed synagogue believes that we're all imbued with the qualities that you see above us, which are eternal and blessing and justice and understanding and faith and love and holy and commitment and joy and compassion. What that reminds me of is that it doesn't really matter what any prescription tells you you're imbued with as a divine being, or any faith or philosophy or religion. It's about that which resonates with the individual, you and me, and to then tune into that and do everything to the best of our ability to act in accordance to it, to let ourselves be that which it is, and then by understanding what we teach here is that that which we magnify and act upon is drawn back to us as an experience in life, because we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual laws. So that which we are comes back to us in form. The vision statement for our community is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. I'm going to say that again so that you may hear it anew. Supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. It's that spiritual awakening that we are inviting in today. You'll see to the left of you a panel from the AIDS quilt. And it has been here now for a week. We had our World AIDS Day Shabbat service here Friday night, which was beyond beautiful and touching. And I know that all of you are unable to be here. And I invite you to go to the Congregation Kol of Me YouTube channel and watch it. It was beyond moving. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in my message this morning. But I'd like to invite in the energy of these individuals who are on this panel. And specifically, if you'll look at the one that says, "Look at me, Mr. I'm a Star," William P. Leonard. That is the deceased of one of the board members, former board members at Congregation Kol of Me. It's the second time we've had this particular panel here in this room. And each time his beloved, who is still with us, Steve got to stand up and speak and remember him. And they have the most beautiful story, and he performed in Dreamgirls and did indeed sing this song. And so I'm going to just invite that energy in so that you're aware of what's here. Know that we brought all of their energies in Friday night, and remember anyone in your life that may have passed from AIDS, or even if you don't know them, just let's bring that energy in as we have our spiritual awakening today. Today we're also going to have a lot of fun. You open to having fun and singing, and if you're up to it, get up and shake your thing and dance along to Jingle Bell, Jingle All the Way. And so without further ado, that is what we're going to do. We're going to sing Jingle Bells. Our gentleman musician are going to take it away, and I want you to shake your jingle bell and stand up if it's comfortable and sing along.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha, ha, ha. Bells of bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A year or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride. Soon Miss Penny Bride standing by my side. He was sailing and take. Misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank, and then we got upside. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. That was fun.
That was fun, right? We got to have fun. Fun is part of it. It is part of it. I spoke about this on Friday night, that our theme for the month is joy is happening through me. And even the entire AIDS Day Shabbat service here Friday night, we talked about having moments of being in sanctuary, having moments of remembrance, having really tender moments, and also inviting in joy. Like it all exists at the same time. And so it's really important for us to remember that. Continuing down the theme of joy and light, as we do our traditional candle lighting for today, I'm going to adapt that to be the one that I did Friday night for World AIDS Day. And for the purpose of that is calling in the light is calling in the light. It's just simply an act of invoking in an awareness of the light that exists within us already. I spoke Friday night about what's important for us to remember as we do that is to tune into the acronym that I use for light, which is living in God's healing truth. And to be as clear as possible individually what that word God means to you. It's the God of your meaning, the God of your identity, the God of your belief, and the God that supports you in becoming more and more of who and what you are as a divine being. And for us to remember as we look at this beloved, cherished panel, which is one of thousands, and I'm not talking about panels within the panel, I mean there are thousands of the actual panels themselves, to look at it not in a sense of being macabre, but look at it in a sense to be grateful that our name isn't on there. And as a result of that, how can we shine the light that we call in today? Not only in a new way for ourselves, but to honor those that have passed. I'm going to invite one of our members up, Layla Keith, to light the candle today. Let's give her a round of applause just for being who she is, a beautiful being of light with the most fabulous surname, Layla Keith. So as Layla lights the candle, let's hear these words. Today we're adapting our traditional ceremony for the recent World AIDS Day and the Shabbat service here Friday night to bring in the energy that was in this room Friday night as we lit many, many, many candles and called out many names. And to hear the energy and the language of the blessing of hope that I'll read in a moment. We perform this ceremony today as an acknowledgement of all who've been affected by AIDS. In doing so, we remember all people, all faiths, all sentient beings are one with the great universal presence, which we call spirit, whether they're with us in human form or not. It's important to remember that it's been a long struggle. Early 1980s, the struggle began. My first beloved passed in November of 1982. And to remember that our work is far from over. And as we go forth from this beautiful time together today, may we each be empowered by the spirit of hope and healing, whose one name is God, and whose other name is love. And may the blessings of love be upon us and within us. In the Teaching the Science of Mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes defines love as the self-givingness of spirit whose desire is to create more of itself. And the way that it does that is out of itself. And it does that through you and through me, and in the way that we choose to be the power itself. And so I invite you to hear these words of this blessing for hope on World AIDS Day, written by Dr. Maureen Killeran. And remembering that love's definition is the self-givingness of spirit. May love's truth be upon our vision. May love's wisdom dwell within our hearts. May love's persistence inspire our lips. And may love's gentleness give comfort to our bodies. May love's gratitude accompany our sleep. And may love's healing be a balm for our brokenness. May love's serenity give peace to our weary souls. And may love's confidence energize our minds. May love's challenge keep us faithful, faithful in our struggle, faithful in our conviction that love and justice and hope will ultimately prevail. Acknowledging the illuminated, flickering flame of this candle, I invite you to feel free to call out the names of anyone that you would like to have healing, and certainly anyone that may have passed from AIDS that you would like to be remembered in this moment. I'd like to begin by calling out the names on the quilt of Ishmael Torres, Robert Malaves, William Leonard, John Frazier, Howard Limmer, David Sear, John Kearns, and Jeff Ziegler. And so feel free to call out any names. Wayne Benove, Don Stevens, Chuck Wells, Richard Patterson, Jesus Ernesto Reyes, and so it's anyone who's been affected by HIV and AIDS. And so may we invite in this energy of these individuals and know that just because I've called names, it doesn't mean they've passed on. If you look behind, you'll see that to be real right now. And let's feel the energy of life itself as we sing the song together, lighting the flames of faith. Jason will guide us through that.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our souls. There is one flame, one light within.
So it is. Isn't that song so beautiful? Yeah. And it's so profound, the lyrics are of it. Speaking of profound lyrics and words, it's tradition here that, and has been for many years, that on our holiday service, as it is a tradition among many centers for spiritual living and places that teach the science of mind, the reading of what's called a Christmas letter by Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the teaching of the science of mind. The tradition continues today. I'd like to invite up a former board member and a longtime community member and a dear friend of mine to read it for us, Sandy Rivetta.
A Christmas letter from Ernest Holmes. Christmas is for remembrance. The love manifested through our gifts to each other typifies the offer of life and the givingness of spirit to its creations. The hands of the eternal are outstretched through our hands, and the heart of the infinite beats in the human breast. But the giver must give of himself, for the gift without the giver is bare. It is not then in lavish gifts that we find true giving, but in the sweet simplicity of remembrance, in the kindly thought, the tolerant mind, and the gentle act. Love alone can give love, sympathy alone can sympathize, and only goodness can really do or be good. The one who gives for reward does not give at all. He seeks to bargain, to trade for spiritual gifts. Hence, he senses a loss in his own giving and finds no completion through the act. But he who gives half his meat to the hungry feels justified and is warmed by a real sense of comradeship. He has established an actual unity between himself and other offspring of creation. Great causes succeed when there is a giving of humanity to humanity. With the check must come the one who wrote it, his interest, his enthusiasm, his love. The check must be a symbol of his desire to impart of himself, then shall it multiply its benefits and do good. Charity is cold, but love is warm. When hearts speak to heart, a divine conversation has taken place, a heavenly discourse. Each of us has something to give. Let each see that he gives of his best. If we are bringing our gifts to the altar of love, nothing less than the best will be acceptable. Nothing less than all is enough. May the real spirit of Christmas, the giving of the self to life, enter and abide in you now and through all times. Sincerely, Ernest Holmes.
Thank you, Sandy, and thank you, Ernest. Reminds me that our role in life is to give. That's really it. As we replicate the nature of the universe's nature is to give, right? Oftentimes people may think it's taking, but it's not, it's giving. But the other side of giving is also receiving. So it's important for us when we stay in the flow to be willing to give so that we may receive, so that we may give, so that we may receive. And to remember that where we give, rarely does it come back in the same spot. In fact, it doesn't. If you really were looking at a microorganism component, it's in the flow. And so during this holiday season, I invite us all to stay in the flow of giving and receiving and giving and receiving, and then tuning into our divine energy. So you ready for more singing? Let's do that again. Are you ready for more singing? Yes. Good. So our gentlemen musicians are going to take us through Silent Night, the lyrics you have, and take them in a new way as you participate in this sing-along. And for those of you at home, I can hear your voices singing along with us, and even on a later date when you're watching us on a YouTube channel.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon Virgin Mother and Child, Holy Infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Oh, silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, and heavenly hosts they sing Alleluia. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
So lovely. I don't know about you guys, but I've learned to hear the words infant child and Jesus and all of those components which ring so much of traditional Christianity, to hear them in a new light, in a new perspective, and to not hang on to old ideology. So, yeah. Thank you, gents. Thank you. So my message this morning, I would like to begin by stating this, reading this for us. Following the noble path is like entering a dark room with a light in the hand. The darkness will all be cleared away and the room will be filled with light. People who understand the meaning of the noble truths have learned to follow the noble path and have learned to follow the noble path are in possession of the light of wisdom that will clear away the darkness of ignorance. I love that statement. People who understand the meaning of the noble truths, and that's those who practice Buddhism, and the 8 components of the noble path is living with right view, right resolve, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Now, without getting into what is considered right in this context, I think we're all tuned in enough to know that right means that which serves our soul, that which propagates us giving back, that which doing what Ernest Holmes was speaking of in that letter. So following this pathway of right view, right resolve, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, or just picking one of those, we all know in consciously making a decision to live in this manner different than before, that must have an impact in the world itself. That in and of itself could indeed ignite the light that is within us, which is then the light of wisdom, and that will indeed clear away the darkness of ignorance. Now, the darkness of ignorance is a very heavy statement, and if one were to let their ego process that statement, I would think we would want to get into battle, right? For our ego to say, I'm not ignorant. How dare you? Who the hell are you to call me ignorant? And yet the reality is, because we are mental beings that are imbued with the ability to think for ourselves and forever in the flow of contemplation, and through that act of contemplation being presented with information that is different than before, and if we are but willing to purposefully and consciously evolve on our path of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, it makes sense logically then that there would be something in this evolutionary journey that it is possible that we could be ignorant about, correct? And so as a result of that, we all have a bit of darkness of ignorance within us. And so what we're called to do then, should we desire to live by the pathway of the light that we've called in, not just in this ritual, but on a daily basis, is to then call in that light and also call in the darkness of ignorance so that we may be aware as we dispel it, or that the light itself dispels it. Now that, I believe, is truly what the entire purpose and point of this holiday season is about. It's about tuning into the light and dispelling the darkness and not letting our ego get involved with that. To be open to the light transforming the darkness. Is that really not what Hanukkah's all about, right? Isn't that the journey of the celebration in Judaism at the time? Now, you may be wondering why I'm beginning my holiday message with the teaching of Buddha. I'm doing so because I wanted us to hear this a bit different today. And personally, I believe that the light in the noble path that is being referenced here speaks to the true meaning of holiday. I'm not speaking specifically of the secular or commercial celebration of Christmas. I'm speaking of the story of the miracle of the birth of the baby Jesus, who, according to the story of the Holy Bible, was born as, 1, the Anointed One, 2, the Son of God, 3, or just simply the Christ. It's important to hear that and also then put our ego aside if we're like, well, why him? Like, what the hell? Like, him and not me? But let's go deeper. In traditional metaphysical teachings, including that which we practice here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, it's our belief. And in fact, it's that which we teach to each and every one of you, that Jesus, or the story of Jesus, isn't to be taken literally. His birth, his life, his actions, and his death are all examples of the light that exists within each of us. And to know that each and every one of us, if he were the Anointed One, or the Son or the daughter of God, or the Christ, so are we. He is an example for us, not the exception. That's what this holiday is about. It's in its nature, it's a beautiful message and a story of the connection that we each share in humanity and the ability that we have to consciously bring forth through the manner in which we live our lives and what we choose to believe, our own individual light and presence to the world. Just recently, I've been listening to some very specific metaphysical teachings, and I listen to them as I do my extended, long daily walks with my four-legged spiritual offspring, Sweeney. And the core of what I've been taking in and listening to this being that's being channeled through a human is about tuning into the energy that's within us. We call it light. I think I call it truth. I call it the source, the essence. But with every step, tune in. And this individual likes to say, you're tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. Think about that for a second. And the concept, as we were speaking the other day, Tom, about the frequency of the divine itself. You're tuned in, and you're tapped in, and you're turned on to that which is the light itself. And as we choose to do that with every step forward, literally as well as metaphorically, we're shining our light and illuminating a path before us that may seem very holy and angelic, and it is both of those things. But what it's also doing is providing for us, through us, an opportunity. It's the way I like to look at this, an opportunity because of the light that is now being shown forth to see things that I was unable to see before because each one of us, my ignorance of darkness was causing there to be darkness where now there is light. And what we're called to do then in this journey is to expand our beliefs and our approach regarding the miracle of light and life itself, and to remember that that which we seek to experience, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah or just Thursday, is to express the light in more wonderful, more mystical, more magical, more miraculous ways. Today, I invite, as I had said before, to continue to look at this panel. I think it's so important for us to reference this panel, to look at these individuals, and we can see the date by which they left Mother Earth. And I'm assuming that each one of this, and I'm just going to act on the act of assumption here, is that each one of them would possibly think to want to still be here, right? Maybe not. But it's such a gift before us to recognize what our future is, which is to not be here. But since we are here, how do we want to prepare ourselves for that which is before us, which may or may not mean leaving Mother Earth. It's just what's before us is the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. We're being called to tune into living life as a miracle, because it indeed is. That's what this holiday season is all about. In the traditional sense, a miracle is defined as this: an unusual or wonderful event that is believed to be caused by the power of God. Now, what's important here is to once again tune into what we believe God to be. Now, remember, I told you I've been practicing calling in the light. I've been practicing being tuned into more. I've been doing this. I've been working with a hypnotherapist. I've been doing a lot of work lately, obviously physically, but I've been doing a lot of work lately because I remember how important the core components of this teaching is to me and what it's done for me in my life leading up to now. And in maybe an egoic way, I want more of it. I want more of the being juiced by the divine. I want more of the manifestations of good in my life. I want more of exhibiting and experiencing the light. I want more of the mystical elements of the magical and miraculous part of life itself. Friday night we were here, and there was a beautiful table here with candles that we were lighting, and people were coming up one at a time lighting candles and calling out names. And I was standing right here as this gentleman stepped in. It was so incredible in the room, the energy. And this gentleman lit a candle, and he called out several names, many of whom I recognize, not in a personal way, but just people that we would all know in the world. And then he said, standing right here, "And I call in all of those that I used to dance with under the stars." And this wave of energy came through me, and I knew in that moment he was not speaking of the celestial sky specifically. And I literally looked at him and I said to him, "Are you speaking of dancing under the stars at the Saint?" The ultimate gay disco ever, by the way. And he looked at me, he goes, "Yes, I am." And I said to him, "Oh my God, there must have been times when we were across the club from each other dancing, right? As one light that we were just singing of." And he lit up and I lit up, and it was this deep moment of connection, not the mystical piece, by the way. And as he stepped away, energy started downloading into my being as if a spigot had been turned on. And memories started flowing into me that were all good, obviously, as you can tell from the way I'm responding, that touches me deeply, emotionally, and freaked me out a little bit because they were memories I had not thought about in quite a while. And as I went back to my seat, this being showed up in my life, which was a former boyfriend of mine who I just loved and adored and hadn't thought of him for a while. And in the blink of an eye, got the phone call. He was sick and in less than 30 days died. And I haven't thought of him for years, and it just seemed so fitting that this showed up here. He was the first Jewish man I ever dated. And I share that with you today, not out of inviting in sympathy, but sharing with you an example of what can happen when we're but willing to open up and connect to that which is transcendent beyond us, and yet it is the very thing that gives us the opportunity to be in what we are. That's the miracle. that we're constantly being invited to call in and to call in to call in. So when we hear the definition of the miracle, an unusual or wonderful event that is believed to be caused by the power of God, I witnessed that here Friday night. And I invite more and more and more and more of it in, as I do for each one of us, and to know that the key to using this definition and approach will only work for us when we have a clear understanding, or certainly an evolving understanding, of what the power of God means to us. And to remember that for us to evolve in our understanding and our experience of that power, we too must be willing to have that definition evolve. It's to make a commitment to ourselves to have a clear understanding that to the best of our ability, we have faith in the journey itself, and to remember that every step of the way we play a vital and necessary role in the co-creation of our life. And remember I said earlier, we must be conscious, as Ernest told us to do, to be the givers of life. In that moment, I was giving by playing my role. I've been giving in life to awaken my senses. But then we also must be willing to receive. I had the most wonderful gift that I was able to receive that night. It's important for us to remember that as we continue on our journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening and tuning in to that which is mystical and miraculous, that there will be things that will show up in life that may be unexplainable and disturbing, possibly, or distressing at times. But the very mind that is perceiving that which seems to be unexplainable and potentially disturbing is also the same mind that we have within us that shall reveal to us exactly what is here for us to know. It's important to remember that the nature of nature and the miracle of life is constant and at our beck and call. But what's important for us to remember is we must beckon it, and we must call it in, just as we do in the ritual. Let's look at a miracle from a different perspective. A miracle in metaphysical terms is defined as this. Because we fail to realize that principle is not bound by precedent, now hear that again, because we fail to realize that principle is not bound by precedent, we limit our faith in the creative process to that which has already been accomplished, and therefore typically few miracles result in our lives. However, when through intuition, faith finds its proper place under divine law, there are no limitations, and what are called miraculous results occur. Today, I invite all of us to tap into that thing that draws us into this teaching. For me, it was in 1982 when I walked into the Atlanta Church of Religious Science and read for the first time the words, "Change your thinking, change your life." Very simplistic, and yet so deeply profound if we were to let it become a spiritual practice for each and every one of us. I spoke Friday night about the ever-evolving nature and meaning of that statement to me. There are times that it means change your thinking, change your life, means remember to put your seatbelt on, right? It also may mean to turn the radio off when driving in the car. It may mean to not grab a hot pan on the stove. Change your thinking. Don't grab it, right? Very simplistic. But it also means, to me, change your thinking in a way to be open to the miracles and the mystical element of life. In looking back over why it means something to me, and looking back at those times when I walked into this teaching in 1982 and putting it in the perspective of the quilt and knowing that those in my life were dying at that time, horrific, horrible deaths, and the darkness in which we were all living with, if any of you were living during those times. What I also realized was change your thinking, change your life to me meant that I needed to change my thinking and change my life in regards to most everything, but primarily in changing my thinking in the way that I saw myself as a human being that is also a divine being navigating my life. And then to change my thinking in regards to my humanity being a divine being and a divine being being a human being. To tap into that place where this language of our teaching rings so true. To remember that it's as true today as it ever was, that there exists in every person a place that is free from disease, that never feels pain, that is ageless and never dies. When we journey to this place, limitations we commonly accept simply cease to exist. They're not even a possibility. This is a place called perfect health. It's a place called Source. It's a place called God. Today I invite all of us to make a commitment on this journey of continually finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, that as we commit to calling in the light, that no matter what may be going on in our lives, no matter what may have gone on in our lives in the last couple of weeks, no matter how much pain we may have been through or how much joy we've all experienced in life, to remember that we are here and called to be here moment by moment by moment by moment. And that the joy of the divine that we're each imbued with is indeed happening to us. And for you and I to bear witness to it, to make it manifest in our lives, what is incumbent upon us is to shine our light so that we can tune into it, tap into it, and be turned on to it so that it may reveal itself to us and through us. Let's remember that just as Gary Zukav tells us, choice is always there for us. We're always at choice, and choice is the engine of our evolution. If we choose unconsciously, we will evolve unconsciously. If we choose consciously, we will evolve consciously. Choosing to evolve consciously is much better than unconsciously and far less painful. And he goes on to say, trust me, been there, done that. And then he goes on to tell us the power of choice is the greatest gift we've been given. Take that in. The power of choice is the greatest gift we've been given, second only to the gift of life itself. And so today, I know for each one of us, whether we're aware of it or not, we're inviting in a deeper connection and awareness to the light. That we're inviting into ourselves a deeper commitment to our trust in not only the process and the journey of life, but how Source itself shows up. We're inviting in a greater faith. Would you agree with that? Who couldn't use a little more faith? We all could. My acronym for faith is full assurance in the heart. Meaning that once we trust this physical beating muscle within us to carry us forward as it is carrying us forward moment by moment, heartbeat by heartbeat, to also cherish and have faith in and trust the energy that is always there, that is existing by means of each one of these individuals, wherever they may be, as it will for you and for I, as we continue on our journey of life itself. I would like to close out with us singing together the song, "O Come All Ye Faithful." It's a song that is very, very, very important to me in my life. And for a block of time in my life, I really disliked the lyrics because they brought forth such pain and mistrust in those that I previously had trusted because of it being tapped in that traditional Christian component. But because I'm an evolving being and you're an evolving being and we're choosing to evolve consciously, we can let the words mean whatever we want to. But I'd like for us to sing it together today to invite in a deeper awareness of the light. And every time we sing, "O Come All Ye Faithful," our faith musculature is grown just a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And when it says, "O come ye to Bethlehem," let's let Bethlehem represent the birth of the baby Jesus for sure, but that birth within each and every one of us right now of the Christ, of the Anointed One, as the person that's tuned in, tapped in, and turned on.
joyful and triumphant. Oh come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, oh the King of angels. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Lords of angels sing in exaltation, sing all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God, all in the highest. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. All hail, Lord, we greet thee for this happy morning. Jesus, forevermore thy name be adored. Word of the Father, now in flesh appearing. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
And so it is. And so now we have a song by Jason and Donald James Harper for us to entertain us.
Home for the holidays. I believe I missed each and every face. Come on and play my music. Let's turn on the love light in the place. It's time I found myself totally surrounded in your circles. Oh, oh my friend. Please celebrate me home. Give me a number, please celebrate me home. Play me one more song that I always remember, that I can recall when I'm feeling all alone. I can sing me home. Uneasy highway, traveling where the westerly winds can't fly. Somebody tried to tell me, but the man forgot to tell me why. I gotta count on being gone. Come on, mama, come on, daddy, please. What do you want from me? I'll be strong, I'll be weak, I'll be weak. Please celebrate me home. Give me a number, please celebrate me home. finally here, I'm bound to roam. Please celebrate me home. I'm finally here, I'm bound to roam. Please celebrate me home. Yes, I'm finally here, I'm bound to roam. Please celebrate me home. I'm finally here, I'm bound to roam. Please celebrate me. To celebrate me. I'm finally here, I'm bound to roam. You know, please celebrate me home. I'm finally here, I'm bound to roam. Won't you celebrate me home?
Jason Goldstein and Donald James Harper. You two play well together. I like that.
I want to do this more often.
I want you to do more often. I wanted you to do it today, which is why I'm glad. So I booked you both today. I knew you guys. I mean, you guys know each other from before, right?
Yeah,
but I knew that you played well together. You would play really well together, right? It's just energy. It's the way it works. Like tuning in, tapping in, and turning on. You know, so that's the way it works. So thank you both for being here. May you have the most fabulous holiday season.
Thank you.
So very much so, very, very, very much so. A big thank you to all of you for being here today, and thank you for celebrating us home. This is our home, and it was so lovely to be here Friday evening. I keep referencing that as we were here, but there's a new rabbi at Congregation Colony who's just lovely and fabulous. And it's the first time she and I got to share space up here together, and the referencing of this being our home and the way she had welcomed me to the Bema Friday night. She goes, and they've been here, and they're here, and this has been their home for quite some time. And so it has been 8 years. Yeah, so October will be 8 years. Right? Well, we did have kind of this hiccup in the middle called COVID to change things a little bit, but yes. So thank you all for being here, and thank you to all of you that have watched online. And I know for each of you that this will be a spark to kick off your holiday season if it hasn't already been kicked off in a most loving, wondrous way, and to remember who you are as divine beings as you navigate life itself. A big thank you to Travis Smith in the back for being a fabulous audio technician for all of us. To Robert Hensley, our administrative assistant and social media person who's supporting us technologically from, I believe, Pennsylvania at the moment. He's always on the move. A big thank you to those that are watching us online through YouTube and through Zoom. You know, we were talking once again kind of Friday night. Aren't we all blessed to have technology the way it is? Obviously, there are parts of it that's a pain in the patootie, but there are other parts of it that's just such a blessing. And so I'm very thankful for that. A thank you to Scott in the back, who is welcoming us all in the door, to Javi, who sets up for us and takes care of setting the room up, and to our new security guard, Rock, who you got to meet today. I think some of you he got to examine you and your bags. Is that correct? So, such a wonderful thing to do. Know that as this week unfolds, on Wednesday morning, we will continue our midweek morning meditation. That's at 8:30 a.m. That is online. And our New Thought text for the day goes out each morning. And hopefully you're all receiving that. And we're under the guise of a new company, which is really fantastic. And just so you know, when you receive that text in the morning, you can respond with hearts or emojis or gifs. Did I say that part right? Or just, I love you, Keith. You can even say that, but it has a component of two-way texting that we do that. Is there anything I'm missing in this moment? So I think that's it. There are chocolate goodies for you to chew on, and Sherry brought some, what did you bring today, Sherry? Some tasty donuts. So there's caffeine and water and chocolate and sugar and flour and all those things that are of importance at this time of year. So please feel free, if you are new to us, you can sign up for our email newsletter that goes out. All of that information can be found on our website, csl-la.org, or our app in the App Store. And we'd like to take a moment and have an opportunity for you to support us financially, whether you're online or in person. In just a moment, Jesus is going to walk through, if you'd like to do that, by providing anything put into the bag. We'll take cash, checks, coins, jewelry, bonds, all of that. But if you'd like to do it electronically, on the back of your program is a QR code. You can scan that, and I invite you that if you don't use it today, but you'd like to take it home with you going forward, you can just place the QR your phone on there, and it'll take you directly to our donation site, as well as you can donate through the app in the App Store or through our website, CSL-LA.org. And so as Jason plays a little music, and let's just feel the presence.
Let there be. Oh, so sorry.
Somebody's got a brunch to go to now. And so let's know together that that which has been given today is a reflection. It's a reflection of the act of giving. Our beloved founder, Reverend Dr. David Walker, as we bring his essence into the room, used to say, one cannot give with a clenched fist, meaning that the act of giving as we open ourselves, opens ourselves up to the flow and the energy of blood that moves up through our arm and connects to our heart. The heart is that symbol of love. And so as we give, we ignite love within us, the self-givingness of spirit, whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself, and it does that as we give. So I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, and I'll close us out with prayer. The music can continue. I love hearing it play. And then we'll all stand together and sing Let There Be Peace on Earth. The lyrics are also on your handout. And so let's know that wherever we are right now, whether online, through Zoom or YouTube, or watching at a later date, or listening to this message, or here in the room, that we are clear that joy is indeed happening through us. That we have indeed invited in the angels that have passed on from this life to the next. We've called out their names. We've invited them in, whether we knew their names or not. And we choose to remember that they're always here through us, acting as us, and giving us the opportunity to carry forth their light, which is our light. Because the truth is, there's only one light. And so I affirm for each one of us that from this moment forward, we call in the light into our awareness, into our experience, and as a result, we take each step forward, allowing our pathway to be illuminated in a new way. We see life anew. We're calmer, we're clearer, and we're kinder and more compassionate. And so in a moment, as we stand and sing the song, Let There Be Peace on Earth and Let It Begin With Me, we take that as a call to action. Not just lyrics, but as a call to action, and then act in accordance, as the law always responds. Please feel free to stand and sing along.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be the solemn vow to take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin
Happy holidays.